All right, here we go with level 2. The new information is just still the squaring and square rooting. The old information is that we can then solve for more than just this one step, okay? So here's what we see. We see that something is being squared, okay? So right away I'm saying, okay, look, I want x by itself. So what do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of the squared, and I also need to get rid of the 5. But since the 5 is in the parentheses, we're gonna get rid of the squared first. So how do I get rid of squared? We just remember the squared and square root are inverse operations. So I see squared, I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna square root both sides. Okay, so now square and square root cancel, right? So what's canceling is the square root and the squared. So what I have left now is x plus 5. Okay, now when I square root 121, remember, what number times itself could equal 121? Well, it could be negative 11, or it could be positive 11, right? So I actually have two answers here. So what I have to do right now is actually break this into two separate equations, and there's going to be two solutions. So x plus 5 could equal negative 11, right? This could equal negative 11, or it could equal positive 11. And then I'm going to go ahead and solve. And in both cases, in order to get x by itself, I'm subtracting 5. So here, negative 11, 5 more negatives, that's negative 16. And here, subtract 5, 11 minus 5 is 6. So then I give my answers. Okay, make sure you give it in order from least to greatest. So this would be negative 16 and 6. Those are my answers. Okay, notice here there was two solutions. Why are there two solutions? Because I square rooted a number, and whenever I square root a number, I get the negative square root and the positive square root. Let's take a look here. In this case, I say, oh, I see a square root. Let me do the inverse of square root. I'm going to square. Okay, so square and square root cancel, so I'm left with x plus 3 equals 6 squared, and 6 times 6, that just equals 36. Here, notice there's not two solutions. 6 times 6 only equals 36. It doesn't equal negative 36, right? I'm going to subtract 3. Okay, the audio code, the audio word in this video is cat, the word cat. Okay, here I have just one solution. Okay, last one. I have 2x to the power of 2 equals 100. So I notice this is in parentheses, so I'm going to get rid of the squared first. Okay, so I square root. So I get 2x equals, right, square and square root cancel. Square root of 100 is negative 10 or positive 10, right? And I want to show you there's like a shorthand for this, but we don't use it at the end of problems. But look, we can use it in the middle of problems. We can do this, look. This is called the plus or minus sign. Plus or minus 10. And that means the same thing as this, like plus or minus 11 means the same thing as negative 11 and positive 11. So now I know 2x can either equal negative 10 or 2x can equal positive 10. Either way, I need x by itself. I'm going to divide by 2. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. And positive 10 divided by 2 is positive 5. And I end up with x equals negative 5, comma 5. Okay, again, notice when I square root, when I have to square root, I end up with two solutions, right? Because when I square root, I get a positive and a negative. When I have a square root in the problem and I end up squaring, that's where I only end up with one solution.